and we take money from them and put their operation in jeopardy. But ladies and gentlemen, little birdie whispered in my ear, your county administrator, and you need to be hopping mad about this, and you need to look up the telephone number for the county commission offices, and you need to send an email to all 5 county commissioners. Your county administrator, in a down economy and reduced revenues, on and on and on, all the trouble that we're in financially, your county administrator just handed out 37 raises that's going to cost you approximately $80,000 this year for those raises. And you mark my words, when we get to budget season, when we get to the actual meetings, we're going to be talking about laying people off because we don't have money to pay the worker bees in our county.
Right.
Okay, let me say that again, ladies and gentlemen. Your county administrator, Hunter Walker, handed out raises to 37 county employees under his control, and it's going to cost you $80,000 this year. Once again, Bob Cole, I apologize. I know I'm getting a little loud and your sensitive ears, it hurt you, but it's wrong, Deborah. I do not understand what kind of thinking goes through a person's head when they know that they are faced with cutting road funds this year. Well, heck, we've already stolen $200,000 from the road fund to buy Pullins property to start out with. But we're reducing road funds.
Right.
We know we're going to have to do it. We know we're going to have to trim virtually every budget up there. But yet our county administrator takes it upon himself to hand out 37 raises. And I tell you what, I'm not saying whether or not those 37 employees are deserving of a raise.
Right.
I'm not judging that. What I'm judging at is when we are in dire straits financially, I think it is absolutely ridiculous for this county administrator to hand out raises at this time. And if those raises stand, if those folks get those raises, yours truly is going to stand there at public meetings, and for the people that have already lost their job in Santa Rosa County, some 18 in the building inspection department, and potentially there may be some more because of the budget shortfall, I want them all to show up. I'm going to encourage them to show up and stand up to the podium and tell Hunter Walker just what they think about him. I'm livid about it. It's wrong. It's past wrong. Because here's the little game. We very quietly eased around and we handed out 37 raises.
Right.
And when we get to the public meetings, well, we've asked our employees to take a 2.5% cut this year. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You do the math. I just handed out 37 raises, but I agreed to take a 2.5% cut, so the net, I still get a raise.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's wrong. The county commissioners are to stand up and do something about it. And folks, you can help. Pick up the phone, call the county commission office, send them an email, tell them what you think about it. I just, it continues to amaze me.
Well, we always see the little goodies get slipped in at some point or another. We saw, we're going to reduce Team Santa Rosa's budget. And again, this is an agency with no reported productivity, whose employees we know make $90,000, $80,000, $50,000, $40,000 a year. We heard last year we're going to reduce the budget, and then we saw
right.
It was sneaked through in other ways.
Right, and let's tell the people, let's remind the people, ladies and gentlemen, Team Santa Rosa budget until this year that we're in has been about $650,000. You had two commissioners that had the nerve to stand up and say, well, we've reduced Team Santa Rosa's budget by $180,000. Their budget is only going to be $450,000 this year, and you should be proud of us because we cut their budget. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They took the $180,000 and made up the difference out of the general revenue fund. And now my kids at East Milton Park are having to pay more to pay for the lights because they took it from them.
Well, and then they nabbed another 200,000 to market the tanker contract that
Absolutely.
apparently won't be coming for another couple of years.
Unbelievable, unbelievable.
And there's absolutely no telling where that money has gone. There's no sign of
Well,
any kind of report. on
we
where that went.
did note that they did put up a web page,
Yes.
and it was up for almost a week, showing a picture of a nice lady with her kids standing on a brown sand beach. Okay, to be quite honest with you, you spend $200,000 on a non-competitive bid marketing contract, and the buffoons that build the web page don't find a shot that has what we're famous for, sugary white sand beaches.
Right.
Just amazes me. I mean, we are known over the entire planet. We are the only area that has sugary white sand beaches, and for a whole week they had a picture up there of a brown pebbled beach.
Right.
You know, it just...
Well, and then we saw, of course, the Pullen property. We had to buy that. I mean, there's always a whole string of goodies that get, sneaked into the sack, even when we're told there's
Right.
a shortfall.
Well, and one
And
of
of course,
the
we'll keep an eye on that.
one of the things, and ladies and gentlemen, the budget stuff that we're going over here was actually a presentation by our budget director, Joel Hannaford, at the Tax Watch group. We have a group here in Santa Rosa County that, are kind of at least trying to have some input into your county government. And one of the, they just kept asking, how can we, why all of this stuff, it was kind of it was fun to watch from the standpoint of, I find Mr. Hannaford, he's always answered every question I've ever asked, and you could tell when you get to a point that he really didn't want to answer. Well, he just wouldn't answer it because I think a lot of times he feels like we do, that there's too much money being moved around in the budget and all.
Well, there's 5 people responsible ultimately for those decisions.
Right, which is the Board of County Commissioners. One of the things that was interesting in this also was, and this is for the budget season that we're in, your county commissioners told you that they reduced 38 positions in Santa Rosa County, and it saved $1.2 million. Well, and of course, I asked the question at this meeting, and actually 18 breathing employees were let go. Mm-hmm. The rest of the 38 was nothing more than a sheet of paper or a web page advertisement. It wasn't a legitimate position. More of the gamesmanship that we see quite often. Well, we want you to feel good about yourself, so we cut 38 positions this year. We're doing our part. Didn't really cut 38 positions. Didn't cut 38 people. It did have an impact on the budget, but it's more games. And speaking of the other thing that was brought forward, and I was glad that one of the Tax Watch group members asked the question, the $3.2 million that was used to purchase the Pullen property, could that money have been spent on anything? And of course our budget director said what we all know, yes, that money could be spent on anything. And so I want to throw it out there again to our law enforcement brethren. Your raise just bought a piece of property for Mr. Bill Pullen. There was $3.2 million that could have been used to A, balance the budget. They could have balanced the budget.
Right.
B, maybe balance the budget and give some raises.
Right.
And
well, and contribute. I mean, even a couple $1,000s to groups like the ARC.
Right.
And the Avalon Center, some of these other groups, it makes a big difference. As opposed to being, it's a black hole at Team Santa Rosa. We have no idea what that money produces.
Well,